I've had an online business and I've had some trials and tribulations.
Girl, I'm hoping you
Hello and welcome back to With the Tea. My name is Tatiana, and on this channel we discuss growth, business, and self-improvement. By the gist of the title, we're going to discuss some of the things that you can do to help increase your online business and to help prevent it from being a flop to making it hot again. Okay, so let's just get into it. When you start from the ground and building your way up, it may be difficult to pinpoint some key pointers on why you're not selling to begin with. I've created 5 key reasons that you should take a deep dive into, and they're the reasons why your business is probably not doing the things that you want to do in a certain time frame. Now, this is coming out of experience, so I've been there. I've had an online business and I've had some trials and tribulations, and I just took the opportunity to share these with you to allow you to go into detail on how you can overcome the heartaches that come with having an online store. So we're going to go into my first evaluation point, and that is going to be evaluate your design. As creatures of the internet, we are used to seeing flashy, aesthetic, minimalist, beautiful objects making you catch the eye. And if that is not what your surrounding circle sees from your website, then hey babes, I got a key tip for you. It's time to relook at your design, okay? In order to figure out what you need to do differently, introduce yourself as the customer. What does the customer want to see as a person is buying this product? What do I want to achieve with this design? What do I want to make my audience feel like they are capturing? And one of my favorite tools to do that in is Canva. They have templates. I love Canva. They have templates that you can use. They have ideas and strategies that you can think about and utilize when creating designs for websites and also designs for themes and products even. Definitely research your niche. What is the norm? Research some things that you can take and create things out of the box. Brainstorm these things. It takes time. It's going to create that development on how to interact with your user. Open your eyes and see different angles of your niche. I said niche before, niche, whatever. Also, use design principles such as typography and designs, the effects, the hierarchy of different colors. You might want to reach out to people on Fiverr, love Fiverr, to help you create that aspect of design. If that's not your strong suit, maybe you should definitely look into getting someone that can help you with that. And Fiverr is a great option. I know as an entrepreneur or someone moving into that space, we tend to keep our ideas to ourselves because they're like our babies and we don't want anyone to harm our babies. But in order to grow, you have to share your designs. You have to reach out to people to critique and explore your designs. You have to know that, is it worth it? Am I wasting time on this design? Is it hard on the eye? You definitely need feedback, and that is my key tip. So your next evaluation point has to do with offerings. And offerings is very similar to price or your product. Normally people look at customer reviews to determine if their product is good or not. However, you're starting from the ground up. How are you supposed to know if your product or if your service is in the niche for what you're going for or in the market even? So 2 things that I would recommend doing. One is Google research. Google Trends is amazing. So if you type in Google Trends and you type in whatever product or whatever thing or service that you're trying to sell, it's going to pop up. Google Trends is going to show you, year by year, 30 days, month by month, how relevant or how much that product has an influence to society. I also use this great product. It's called Exploding Topics. It talks about the topics that are trending. They haven't taken off yet, but they can predict based off data and analytics what would be the next top thing. They predicted gua sha, that is that thing that you use on your face to create a chiseled face. They predicted that when that wasn't even a thing. I swear by Exploding Topics. It is something that I use business, and it's also something I use for my YouTube channel to discuss with you guys to understand what you guys want to know. And so I would suggest using that as well. Another key tip when it comes to looking at your offerings and your products, think about the feedback that you receive from friends, family, and even the guy randomly on the street. I literally, one time I was walking and I had my products and I literally asked this girl, I said, hey, would you buy this for $45? She was like, no, it kind of looks really like low quality in a way. It doesn't give $45 worth. I said, thank you. Like, that's all I asked. And she gave me all of this good information. And just like talking to someone randomly will give you things that you need to know. And lo and behold, that product did not really sell. It wasn't selling to begin with. However, she just re-incentivized that I should be changing something up with something that is a higher quality. So, like I said, just go into market research about your product and your offering and your price. All of that is inclusive, okay? My next evaluation point is going to be something that I hold near and dear to my heart, because the reason why I started an online business is because I became obsessed with creating websites. I love creating websites. However, what I realized, there's more than meets the eye. And of course, when you start piling on things on your website, price and images and sliders and everything that makes a website beautiful, you start getting into website usability. And that becomes a whole nother ball game when it comes to users putting their time and effort going into your store, and it takes forever. I don't think people realize that if a website doesn't capture someone in the first 5 seconds, and then on top of those 5 seconds, it's slow to load, majority of the people are leaving. Do your due diligence and make sure your website is super fast, or people are gonna leave. People are not gonna be interested, and that just sums up that. You have to understand user experience, and definitely having the website become fast is part of the game. Insight that I like to use to help or understand where the speed is, where the usability is, where the user is lacking, is Google PageSpeed. And it helps the analytics understand where your speed is, and you can compare that to any other pages. It definitely tests the speed, accessibility, and the performance of your website for you to be able to say, hey, this works, or nay, it's not working as good as it can be. I also recommend, once you have figured your usability, your website usability looks good and feels good, I recommend this website called Hotjar, and it allows you to understand what the user is experiencing. It goes into detail about how the user is moving through your website and what they're staying on, what they're not staying on, where they leaving. So I definitely recommend that tool once you have determined that the usability for your website is good to go. My last evaluation point is what took me over the edge when creating my website. I had checked all things. This thing was the lacking factor, and this thing is going to take some time. It's going to take research. It's going to take hours and hours of trying to figure out what works best, and that is going to be your marketing strategy. It sounds so simple, but it is one of the key things that make and break people every single day. I can't tell you how many websites I put up and didn't have a sound marketing strategy because I thought that was the lack of the lack. That is the actual most important thing on this list. You have to put your effort into the marketing strategy. If people don't know you exist, how are you to make money, babe? How? Okay? Like I said, it's gonna take carefully planning and working through this and executing with research to determine what works best for your website. Understand your target audience, understand their needs, understand what you can do better to make them engage into your product. The best thing I love to do is research the competition, see what the competition is doing, see what you could twist and make better. Now, a lot of people don't like to go this route, but you have to have a content form of some kind, whether that be Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You have to have something. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work this way anymore in this lifetime. It's how the majority of online businesses work. It's how we get our money, through online. So you have to have an online presence. You have to have a strategy. You have to prepare. You have to engage. Once you get that content creation going, you have to then figure out, okay, so this works here, this doesn't work. You have to view your analytics. You have to understand what drives people away. Why didn't they come to this sales poster? Did they not like this? And what that helps with is understanding your market research. Go to, I think this costs, but I do want to give you the option. You could go to SurveyMonkey and ask people to view your website. Ask people, simple questions. Would you buy? You can create a whole survey on your website and see if they like it. They will give you feedback. That does cost, but I think that's the best investment because you can stop in your tracks and you can clear up anything that you need to do. But having the marketing strategy is important, whether that be through content creation where you let people know the sales going on, whether you be funneling through Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers. You have to have some type of funnel to get your customers to your site. So we all know that, but you have to understand the marketing strategy behind that. What does that look like? Creating a funnel. Does that look like creating Instagram influencers? Does that look like giving products for free for reviews to gain those positive reviews? And then take those reviews back and post them online. And then you start getting these good reviews and then people are like, well, why not? And then you start posting the reviews. So you have to decide what strategy works best for you. Not all strategies are equal to your niche. So that's up to you. You have to do a lot of research. That is the main thing to take away from being in an online business is the marketing behind it is everything. Now, my final thought here, everything that I said, please take with exploration and experimentation. With that being said, please, baby, do not slap on all these changes and then expect everything to work as soon as you started making these changes. No way, Jose. After a while, crocodile, that is not gonna work. You cannot do that. So what I suggest is you are making these changes. If you realize that you need to take each and every segment and just revamp it, then you need to take it week by week because you have to track changes. You can't just say, hey, I'm gonna change everything, and then you're gonna say, okay, so what was the reason? What was the reason on why this didn't work? You don't know because you did everything. So take your time with these changes, experiment with these changes. You have to plug and chug. You have to maneuver. You have to say, okay, I created a design. Let me see what this design is gonna do in the next few weeks for my website. Okay, if it does nothing, let's move on to a marketing strategy. We can't change everything at one time. We have to maneuver and put pieces together. Now, with that being said, take your time. This is an experiment. This is a game for you to be better, to understand yourself a lot better. And through this process, you'll learn so much more. Those are my top exploration tips that you need to do right now to figure out why your e-commerce is on the flop when you need to get it to the hot. Okay, do these things carefully with experimentation, and I promise you, you'll get there. See you guys soon. Bye.